it was never a conscious decision. It's all that I did and wanted to do. And somehow I managed to do it for that decade. And then we moved to DeLand, a small town about 3, 4 hours north of Miami. And it's been heavenly place to raise children and to live. And I still do what I did 40, 50 years ago. Wander aimlessly with a Leica. Yes. And but to me, it's always been about work. It's never been, nothing else seemed to matter to me, just to do your work. And there's ups and downs. And I was talking to Lisa about it. My belief that artists, photographers at least, have a shelf life, a creative shelf life. And, those first dozen wonder years are just that. And then it becomes more of a struggle to find significance or to maintain your vitality, I think. So you don't become, your work doesn't become redundant and you're not just, flapping your wings. And so I've always worked through it. And that's why I got involved with thinking about outsider and vernacular art, was to maintain my own vitality as a photographer. Because I saw myself getting a little older, hitting middle age, and looked around and saw my heroes, my peers, my teachers, and their work sort of lost its drive 20 years later. And I had no other interest or skills, so it was kind of scary. And I decided to take a year off and get caught up in my darkroom. I've always had 300 rolls of film staring me down because I work so much. And I thought I would just get caught up in the darkroom and think through the issues of mid-career and midlife, have a reckoning. And I thought to do that, I would I couldn't be idle. So I thought I would develop film, but photograph self-taught artists around Florida, because I've always been intrigued by the raw energy, the drama, the free spirit, the lack of rules, etc., that contradict or challenge academic ideas and practices. And I started traveling, driving around Florida, meeting these unusual artists and photographing them in color. So I wouldn't have to develop the film. And the pictures were nice, but they begged for narrative. And I came from that generation that didn't talk about their work. Our teachers were from the abstract expressionist era, and I guess too macho or whatever it was to explore the nature of what they were doing. I thought I would write a paragraph or two about these self-taught artists just to make the images a bit more full. And I didn't know how to write well, so it was horrible. And I worked really hard to write, and my publisher decided to publish a book on these photographs with the writing, and that sort of opened up a whole new adjunct. I don't want to say career because it's more of a hobby. I'm not a serious writer. I mean, I still want to be a photographer, but this opened up ways of thinking and staying, as I said, staying vital, staying con- consistent with new ways of thinking about old work and working freshly. So I wound up writing 10 books, being hyperactive.